Even to myself, I'm like, get on with it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Just Another Struggling Writer, the Bleegrd Authors one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. Today is Saturday, March 15th, and the last time I was sitting here talking to you guys, I was feeling pretty down, feeling really overwhelmed, mostly because there was a big battle going on for the majority of my time currency and mental energy between writing and schoolwork. This week was a unusually heavy workload week for school. I had 2 papers, 1 quiz, and a project. And that is like the most I've ever had in a single week, in addition to like all the necessary reading to understand the material and do the work. So I was feeling really stressed about that workload and how much of my time and energy it was going to take up, and how it was taking away from writing, which is supposed to be my priority, especially since I really wanted to get this draft of Seekers of Empyrean done by March 31st. And when I have weeks like this where I'm putting all of my time and mental energy into something else and have very little left for writing, it just makes me like question my priorities, because truthfully, the reason I'm getting a degree in theory is so I can open up an independent bookstore. But that's actually my backup plan. My real plan is to become a full-time writer. But I can't be a full-time writer if I don't write a book and get it ready and query it and get it out there. And that takes so much time and energy, and yet I'm being asked to put everything I have left over after my day job and with my kids and everything into school. And so I really did consider, like, do I want to continue pursuing this? But there's also like the sunk cost fallacy of I've already put 2.5 years in, and now I've got debt just for what? To have nothing to show for it. So I'm not in any danger of dropping out or quitting or anything, but it is like really tough for me right now to know not just that this week has been heavy, but also I'm getting into the latter half of my degree program where the workload just is going to be heavier, period. It just is a fact of the matter. And weeks like this could just be my life until I finish the degree. That's where I was coming from on Wednesday. Today, I'm feeling a little bit better, but feeling better came at the cost of giving up on my deadline and accepting the fact that I just have to write when I can. It's not going to be a situation where I am writing every day or writing nearly as much as I want. It has to be when I can. This week, it only ended up being, a couple hundred words here and there. And then I got about 800 words earlier today on the sprints with Taylor and Diane. And I was really hoping to kind of push over 1,000 and get more done, but it's not looking like it. I still have homework left to do. I've gotten a lot of it done. I'm about 65% of the way through everything I need to get done. And my goal is to go ahead and finish the project tonight. I've got about 4 or 5 slides left on this presentation I need to turn in. And then tomorrow I've got to work on the first section of my term project, which is also due tomorrow. So that will be a pretty intense, like, mental load that I'm saving for tomorrow, which I know better than to do that, but here we are, which yet again means that writing is probably going to be on the back burner. And if I want to stay mentally okay, I have to let go of the expectation. And I hate it, but I just have to let it go. I just have to let go of the idea that writing is the priority right now. God, that sucks. It sucks, but it's the truth, unfortunately. I'm not going to drop out. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to go ahead and push forward and get this degree. It's a business degree. So even if like the bookstore thing doesn't happen, it's still going to be useful to me. And there may be times where maybe the workload isn't as heavy, or maybe my time budget just allows for, better balance. But in absence of those ideals, I have to do what I have to do. And unfortunately, writing just has to slip down to number 2 on my priority list. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And more importantly, accepting that is the only way that I can not like just collapse. Because like on Wednesday, I really did feel, Tuesday night especially, and Wednesday, I really did feel like I was on the brink of just like completely collapsing from the strain. It sucks. But it is what it is. Like I can't spend any more time and energy worrying about it and stressing myself out, because that is having the opposite intended effect. Like I'm still not getting anything done, and I'm just like generating so much negativity about the whole situation that it's like putting me off of writing or making me feel negatively about the draft. So I'm just rambling at this point. I've said this a dozen times. That's where I'm at mentally. That's where I'm at with like my mental approach to the draft and to my deadline and everything. Now, as for the draft itself, today I did get 850 words exactly. And I am in the middle of a scene that I realize I am really bad at. I am getting ready to initiate the first confrontation between the antagonist and the protagonist. And it's going to be a big, like, magical blowout. I don't know if this is my forte, because I just feel like I'm spending a lot of words on things that don't matter. The scene is they're trying to track down this rogue magic user, and they've got a lead, and they go down and they set up like a base of operations because she has evaded the authorities for all this time, and they think they're going to try and trap her. And my main character is there to... Let's see, how can I talk about it without spoilers? My main character is there to help. And it's just taking a long time. I just feel like I'm wasting a lot of words on the lead up to the confrontation. And I'm just sitting there typing, and I'm just like, does this matter? Why can't I just get to the point? Why can't I just... And I think it's probably like instructive, and maybe in the revision phase, I'll know exactly how to fix it. But for right now, I'm just typing, and I'm just like, why am I writing this? Why does this matter? No one needs to see every step of the way leading up to the confrontation. Like, we don't need to know that they're moving from point A to point B and the conversations. We don't need to like actually listen in on the radio and hear all the other agents talking about the exact movements of the target and all this stuff. Do we? Or do we need that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like I'm very good at these kinds of scenes. I think that's also contributing to a little bit of the blockage that I've been having. Is just like, I don't really know how to proceed with this. And so it's just going very slow, and it feels like it's taking up a lot of words. But it's progress. 850 words is more than I got over the last 3 or 4 days. So I will take it. I think once I get into the actual like fight scene, I'll feel like more secure. I think, and I also think that goes back to like my whole writing philosophy, which I don't think is entirely helpful, which is if it is not moving the plot along, it is completely useless. You should cut it, which is what leads to my drafts being so thin. And I don't think is entirely good writing advice. I think it helps, but there are going to be things and scenes that are not necessarily like plot forward. This scene is, because it's actively like each step of the operation, which is the plot. But I'm just typing it and just like, even to myself, I'm like, get on with it, just get to the confrontation. And that's first draft. The first draft life is just writing shit and just going, okay, all right, sure. Fine, sure, okay. And revision is when you figure out whether or not you need it. God, I can't wait to be in revision. I think that's also part of the reason why missing this deadline, it hurts so bad, is because I want to be done with it so bad. The first draft for me is the hardest part. Oh, and I just want to, I have so many ideas for revision, so many ideas. I'll talk about it more when I get there, but the big thing I want to like really lean into in subsequent drafts is the monster of the week inspiration. It kind of just leaning into it to that structure. And I've also got like, I've over the course of the draft, I've figured out which subplots matter and which don't. And I want to be able to get in and integrate them more. I want to cut stuff. I want to move stuff, but I got to get this ending done. I have to get this ending done. That's my recap of the last couple of days. Like I said, feeling mentally better, but accepting of the fact that the deadline is not going to be hit, and accepting of the fact that as much as I want to prioritize writing, I have put myself in a position where I can't. And I'm not like, I don't regret the school stuff. I have always wanted to get a degree and it has just never been possible. So it's just a lot of mixed emotions, I guess. And there is an element of like, why can't I give more to writing? Why can't I just stay up an hour late every night and do writing? Or why can't I get up early? Or why can't I skip lunch on my breaks at work and use that time to write? And I think that's kind of a dangerous mindset for myself to get into, like myself specifically, because I know how hard I go already and trying to squeeze every last ounce of efficiency out of my days is like a very short path to a month spent in bed in a depressive episode and burnout. I am choosing the path of self-care in just letting go of that ideal, letting go of the notion that I am one of those writers who can do that, letting go of the perfect picture of efficiency and productivity. Something in myself still rebels against that and says, no, you can still do it. So it's a fight. Anyway, so I'm going to leave you with that. I've already been talking for 16 minutes. I hope to get some writing done tomorrow. I'm going to finish this project tonight and then get up in the morning and just blitz through that last assignment that I have. I hope. Jesus, I hope. But I've also got like all the usual Sunday crap going on. But that is my hope, is to get my obligations out of the way and then carve out some time for writing as well. Part of this whole acceptance thing is accepting that a successful writing day does not have to be 1,000 words or 1,500 or even 500. It has to be opening it and engaging with it. Not just opening it, but like actually like engaging with it. If I get 150 words tomorrow, that counts as a success. It just has to. For now. I'm still rambling. Okay, that's it. I promise this time. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey y'all, a lot has happened since we last spoke. It is now Wednesday, March 19th. It is my youngest child's 10th birthday, and my daughter also has a major choir performance that I'm just about to run out the door to. But before I do, I wanted to give you a quick update on what's been going on. Saturday, I did a little bit of writing. You saw that. Go me. Sunday, I needed to really focus on finishing my homework. I had all those assignments due. As I was getting towards the end of that, unfortunately, we realized that my cat, my Ginger that you see all the time, had gone missing. This isn't the first time. He escaped after the fire, and to be expected, and it took us a couple of days to find him, and then he escaped while we were transporting him to our friend's house, who was going to care for him while we were in the hotel, and we found him the next day after that. And he has a history of trying to get out of the house. We're always like on high alert for whenever we go out the doors, but it seems like it finally happened that we just missed it. We searched high and low. Oh, I guess I should say we have since found him. Everything is good, but it was a tense couple of days. We found him in the garage. Our garage is kind of a hoarder-like situation because we still have so much crap from the fire, but he's back safe. But it did like suck all energy out of me in terms of any other sort of endeavors. Now it's Wednesday. I probably won't be doing any writing today either because, again, I've got my daughter's birthday and then my other child's big choir performance. So I'm about to go to that. It's all the way in downtown Dallas, which I'm very excited about. If you've ever been to downtown Dallas or had to drive in downtown Dallas, you know what I mean. So I'm going to go do that. Then we'll get back later in the afternoon, early evening, and then we're going to have dinner with my baby, who'll be 10. Who is 10? She's 10 today. My littlest little is in double digits. It's crazy. So that's my quick update. No writing, unfortunately, since Saturday. I hope to get back on the wagon, if not later tonight after everything, then for sure tomorrow, now that things are calmed down. My school is also much more manageable this week. Just 2 assignments and 2 discussions. But I did look ahead more into this business law syllabus, and there are 2 weeks coming up where I will have 2 papers due. I'm really nervous about that because that's just one class. It is not the end of my school-related busyness. It's just that this week, thankfully, which is good because with everything going on, I haven't been able to think about that either. But there is one other thing that I want to talk about. Over the weekend, was it over the weekend or was it Friday? It must have been Friday. I kind of made the decision to go to the big writing conference that is held here in the DFW area. I've been to it once, I think in like 2018. Yeah, it must have been like 2018. And I really enjoyed my time there. There's a lot of really great seminars and classes. Every attendee gets a pitch session or a consultation with an agent. And it's just a really great way to connect with other writers. And they are also connected to the big like critique group in the area. The critique group is a little bit too far for me to attend regularly, but it is there as a resource for me if I want it. And that's really nice. It's called DFW Con, so really not that like creative of a name, but it is a big writing conference in the area. I have heard even agents talking about how, like, I don't want to say the word prestigious, but how nice it is. It is kind of a really big thing that goes on in the area for local writers and anyone who wants to come in. But with all things nice and prestigious and all that, it is expensive. So I'm not saying this as a way to, hey, you should go spend $500 to come down to this conference. I am fortunately in a position where I have some extra funds laying around, and I think it is important for me to invest those funds into this writing conference. I feel like the $500, it was $425, I think, is my way of investing into my growth as a writer. Again, I completely understand that that's a privilege and that not everyone has that. And I don't necessarily think anyone needs to do this either. Certainly haven't felt held back by not going over the last couple of years. But I do think that it's a nice opportunity if I do have the funds, and I just happened to be able to do it this year. The reason I mention all this, it's not until October, but the reason I mention all this is the pitch session / consultation with an agent. I'm not insane enough to suggest that Seekers of Empyrean will be pitch ready by October. Like, it's like the beginning of October too. I'm not that crazy, especially with how much I've been struggling. I haven't even finished the first draft yet. So, I mean, like I would have to finish at least 2 other drafts and get feedback. And I just don't see that happening. But I would like to get as close as I can so I can at least use my consultation to find areas where I might improve and get that ready, hopefully to start querying by the end of the year or early Q1 next year. That is going to be the fire in my belly, the deadline for. It's not really a hard deadline because, like I said, I don't think it's going to be ready in any like sense of the word to actually query or pitch. But I'd like to get it close enough where I could go into that meeting with an agent and get tips on this is where I'm at in the process. What can I do to get it completely ready? And what are your thoughts on this? What is the market like? Things like that. So that is DFW Con. I think it's like the first weekend of October. And again, I had a really good time the first time that I went. I was in a completely different place as a writer. I was still in the middle of a draft. Actually, I think I had just finished that first draft. Now that I think about it, I had just finished. Really enjoyed talking to other writers and getting like, that was where I really, like, my eyes were open to how many people were writing YA. And Chuck Wendig was the keynote speaker. So that was really exciting. And I just think it's just a great opportunity to go and, like I said, network. Not even necessarily with writing professionals, but other aspiring writers who are in the same place as you, going there with the hopes to learn and grow your craft and meet agents. That is my update. I probably won't update you again for this video. So with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe or consider leaving a comment down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. Leave me an orange cat emoji. Is there an orange cat? Leave me a cat emoji for my intrepid little man who is the source of much consternation and stress for his desire to go. You know what's so annoying too is as soon as we got him back in and we cuddled him, he started like inspecting all the doors like he wanted to get back out. And it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, in my next video, I hope to have a weekend writing vlog for you. I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.